Good morning. Welcome to TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, and this is the Parowan Rams and the Enterprise Wolves. And we're excited to have you along on Team Hive this morning. I'm here with Coach Dennis Aldrich. I'm Scott Langford. And, Coach, this looks like a great matchup. This is not at all like what you would expect out of a 1-8 broadcast.
Well, yeah, neither was the previous one.
No.
2-7, but no, these teams are split on the year, and they both have some really good talent. They got good bigs. This is going to be a good matchup, I would think.
No, I think so too.
You can always get a team that goes on a run and blows things out, but
yeah,
you wouldn't expect it out of these two teams.
No.
And they're familiar with each other, and they know what they're up against and what they have to do. So,
well, Enterprise comes in the number 1 ranked team in the RPI. They average almost 63 points a game while giving up 51. Parowan, number 8, averaging 56.8 and giving up 55. But that does not tell the story. They're both come out of that Region 19 with those top 4 teams that have just been a brutal bunch this whole season long. And if you take a look at this, in the last 10 games, Enterprise is 8-2 on the season. One of those losses to Parowan. Parowan is 6-4. And if you take a look at the record between these two teams and the final 8, Enterprise 6-2 against the top 8, and the Parowan Rams 3-4. Wow.
Parowan seems to be, I haven't followed them completely, but they've kind of had an up and down season.
Yeah, no, they've been up and down. They've lost to San Juan twice, one of the lower teams in Region 19, but then they pull off wins against Kanab and Enterprise.
Yeah. So as I say, they started out good, then it seemed like they kind of settled down a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, injuries, you don't know what's going on there, but as of late, it seems like they're coming back. And you're right, that region down there, you could be the best team in the state and still be 1-4 in region,
You really could.
It's such a cannibalistic region that they beat each other up so much. And that's the way it is, and that's why teams get better.
Yeah.
Because they face that kind of competition.
As we're talking about the Enterprise Wolves, one of the reasons the Wolves are the number 1 seed in the RPI and so dangerous, if they have all 5 starters are in double figures with Austin Thomas and not they're within a point of each other. So Austin Thomas 11.8. Trayson Whitman, 11.6. Brady Crouch, 11.6. Ty Staley, 10.2. And Dax Hunt, 10.1. So, that is a dangerous starting 5.
It really is. Talent coming out of there. And once again, they got it going here this year. Wow.
For the Parowan Rams, Brock Felder leads with 21 points a game, and he is an amazing talent. He's usually good for 3 to 5 dunks per game, and he's a legitimate D1 talent, that kid.
But
he's amazing.
He's a stretch 5, too.
Yes.
He can hit the 3 at 6'8".
Yes, he can. He actually plays a guard when he normally plays. Cash Mortensen, 10.3 points per game. Luke Millett, almost 10. Waylon Robinson, almost 9. So they go about 4 deep, nearing double figures. And let's take a look at our starting lineups for, first of all, the Parowan Rams. And I'll take care of those, Coach. Waylon Robinson, a senior, wearing number 0, averaging 8.7 points per game. Cash Mortensen, 10.4 points per game, wears number 1. He's a sophomore. Wyatt Hall, number 10, averaging almost 3 points a game, he's a sophomore. Luke Millett, 9.7 points. Wyatt Hall's a senior, actually. Luke Millett, 9.7 points per game, wears number 12. And then Brock Felder, 21 points a game, and wears number 22. Rod Murphy, the coach for the Parowan Rams.
And now for the Enterprise Wolves. You sprung that on me. Number 1, Brady Crouch will start. Also, he averages 11.6.
Yep.
Then they come with I've lost him already. Number 5, Trey Whitman at 11.6. Ty Staley at 10.2. Trey Randall with 9.2. And Austin Thomas at 19.8.
Yeah, my bad, actually.
Dax Hunt.
Yeah, Randall comes off the bench. Dax Hunt, number 12.
I had a chance when I've done ball games in Enterprise, I sit up there in the stands and I have an opportunity to sit next to the Thomas's kid, a grandfather, I believe, and family.
Yeah,
that's always an interesting interaction.
Yeah, we talked to him as well. Parowan gets the first tip, and they'll start with the ball. At the top of the key is number 1, Cash Mortensen. Man-to-man defense for the Wolves. He'll get it over to Hall, inside to Felder. Felder turns, Thomas on him. Turns, spins into the double team. Good help underneath, trying to get it to Millett. It's going to be a turnover on the Parowan Rams. And back come the Wolves underneath on the baseline. Here's Whitman, kicks it back out to Staley.
Had him in the air, should have turned it, finished it out. But
Staley on the right side. Just underway. This is our third game. Kanab and Duchesne victorious in the first two contests. That last one was a great game, overtime.
It's greater when you win them, though.
It is.
For the Millard fans, they'll say, yeah.
On the right side, Hunt up and in, and our game's first bucket goes to Dax Hunt for the Enterprise Wolves.
Nice gut down deep, nice turnaround jump shot from about 6 or 7, left side, right side.
Morton with it for the Rams, over to Hall. Hall takes the left-hand dribble, looking underneath, has Felder. Felder covered by Thomas. That's going to be a matchup. It's going to be fun to watch all game long. Inside, outside, Hall. On the baseline, back up to Felder. Felder fakes, drives, kicks over. Here's a shot from the side, and a first three-pointer of the game for Cash Mortensen.
That's good hot ball movement right there to get that wide open shot. Now Enterprise quickly up court. Enterprise turns their back. They're going to have to be a little bit more alert.
Yeah. Here's Thomas. Thomas drives on Felder. Hard to the bucket. Left-hand layup. Wild, no good. Rebound to Millett. And here comes the Parowan Rams quickly in transition. Here's Hall. Hall up, his shot blocked by Staley. And what a great block.
At the other end, Austin Thomas, he had the defense beat. I don't think he realized it because he threw up a wild shot.
He did.
And it was his dominant hand. He could have laid that up easy. But I think he was worried about that defense from Felder coming back over.
Quick substitution. Whitman out, and Randall comes in the game. And back come the Wolves, down by 1, 3-2. With 6:18 left in this first quarter of play. Again, welcome to all those watching from Parowan and Enterprise. Right side, Staley drives on the baseline, cut off, now in a trap, but kicks back out to Randall. Randall drives, fakes, steps back with the right hand, scores it.
Wow. Felder's going to have to step over on that. He stayed back and let that defense go if he stepped into that from the wing to help out with that defense.
4-3, Enterprise with a 1-point lead. Robinson cuts. Left side, here's Mortensen. Mortensen will take the screen. Step back, threes up and no good. Rebound tipped out, picked up by Millett. Millett up, and a foul will be called, I believe, on Dax Hunt.
Yep, flying all over each other right now. Kind of trying to figure it out. I mean, you've made your adjustments because you know what you're up against, and it takes you a quarter to figure out what's working, what isn't going to work, and what little tweaks you need to make on that defensive and offensive plan.
Well, this twin tower of Millett and Felder inside. Now, Felder, when he plays other places, he plays the guard line.
Well, yeah, he's spending most of his time up at the point, way outside.
Second shot for Millett. The first one was no good. First one is up and good.
I think if Calvin Albrecht were coaching, he'd want that big fella down inside a little bit more.
I don't think he'd ever let him out. Here's Thomas. Shot, and his up for three. Austin Thomas from downtown.
Over Felder. Fakes him, and he doesn't go for the fake. Kind of stands flat-footed, so he just shoots it over him.
Both of these two capable from the outside. Double team on Felder. Back up to Millett. Left side now to Mortensen.
And that's what happens when Felder goes inside. They double him.
Yeah,
they're doing everything they can to get the ball out of his hands down low.
We've seen Felder rather make threes, 5 and 6 a game. He can do it. Felder steps back. Free throw line jumpers up and good.
Tries to penetrate the lane, gets the defense up, shoots it over.
Randall fakes a three, back up top to Crouch. Crouch drives in, shot up, no good. Rebound tipped up, and it's going to be corralled. Back to Hunt, now back to Crouch.
Crouch made a nice drive, but I really think he thought Felder was going to come at him, and so he hurried that shot.
He did. Straight away, here's Staley. Staley on the baseline. Mortensen knocks away, but he picks it back up. Staley shot no good. Felder cleans that one up, and back come the Rams. Down by 1, 7-6. Here comes Mortensen. Down in Cedar City, it's 4-2, I think, Canyon View. With the lead. Try to get a look at that one. Here's Felder driving on the right side. Looks underneath to Millett. Wow, athletic. Felder pounds it down on the offensive rebound.
I think Felder pays him to miss the shot so he can follow up and slam hard.
Third lead change of the game, and Brock Felder with his first dunk. And now a quick turnover on the Enterprise Wolves.
Made a good move, but he forgot to hold on to the ball.
Yep, the ball goes out of bounds. So 8-7, Parowan with the lead. That's our third lead change already. One tie, 3 lead changes. Mortensen with the ball straight away, drives hard to the rim, over to Millett. Millett tries to get it back over, but it's taken away. A turnover on Parowan. Back comes Staley. Staley around the side, and they will call a offensive foul on Ty Staley.
They're going to call it offensive?
Yep. So a turnover.
He kind of Euro stepped and got to the side. I thought they were calling that against the defense there.
Yep, that is Ty Staley. So first, personal foul. So that will go as a turnover against the Wolves, too, early on.
That block offensive foul call is a no-win call. No matter how you call it, it's going to be wrong, right?
It is.
You can't satisfy very many people on that block versus offensive foul.
Right side, here's Millett. Millett to Felder at the free throw line. He's double-teamed quickly. Back to Hall. Hall left side to Mortensen. He's covered by Hunt. Shot inside. Felder goes up over everybody, puts it up and in. That's just the power of Brock Felder.
He's triple-teamed on that one. Had front, back, and a second one in front, and he drops it in, puts it up over the top and in.
10-7 our score. 3 points, the biggest lead by either team. Right now, Parowan with it. Now a steal, near steal. But Hunt gets it back. Nice crossover dribble, drives in, kicks back over. Whitman, right side baseline, up and good.
Nicely done there. A little 10-footer angle right. Might be a close ball game here.
Yeah, just a sophomore. These two teams split during the regular season. Here comes Hall. Hall drives in, kicks out to Robinson. Long three-point jumper up, no good. Rebound Crouch. That one outside the college three-point line.
I think it's having an effect, that line, that double line down there. I really do think it has an effect.
Thomas fakes a three, drives in, kicks back up, stolen away.
Bumped inside by Millett, and it threw the pass off.
Back to Mortensen. Mortensen right side to Robinson. Parowan's up by one. Here's Millett straight away looking for Felder. Pass knocked away, but Felder gets it back underneath Millett at the bucket in. That's just power inside.
Really was. Enterprise had their hands on it. He just ripped it away from him. And then made a nice touch pass of about 2 feet to the other player.
Lead back to three. Knocked down, but picked back up by Crouch. Inside to Whitman. Whitman covered by Millett. Back to Crouch. Crouch drives in. Back up top. Here's Randall. Randall fakes, drives, kicks back out. Whitman, same spot. Different result, though, as Hall, it's going to go off of Hall, and it should stay with the Enterprise Wolves. Right now, I can't see who. Let's see if I can get a scoreboard here.
It's not telling you who's ahead and who's behind.
There we go. Canyon View, 6-3 over Manti. Manti, the number one in 2A, so they're down early on.
Manti's gone
Make
through
that
stretches.
6-5.
They've gone through stretches where they're down early, but they always come back.
Crouch left side to Staley. Staley top of the key to Crouch. Covered by Mortensen. Crouch turns, kicks back. Back to Hunt. 15 on the shot clock, a minute on the game clock. Here's Whitman. Shot up, no good. Rebound to Mortensen. He comes out of the pack, and he'll slow it down and wait for the rest of the Parowan Rams. Right side, here's Robinson. Straight away to Felder. Back to Robinson. Mortensen and Crouch, two quick guards. Underneath, here's Millett. Inside, shot up, no good. Rebound. Good box out that time by Hunt.
Yeah. Good body contact on the shot, too, to force him a little bit farther underneath than he wanted to be.
Crouch straight away will drive. Takes kind of a hard shot. That was a tough one. Felder one-hands the rebound.
Oh, I think there's somebody hanging on the other hand.
I think so, too. Staley had the left hand. He kept the right one. It's Parowan by 3. The shot clock's off. 20 seconds left in the first. Mortensen straight away. We're here at Salt Lake Community College. It's the third of the 4 boys quarterfinal matchups. Again, Kanab and Duchesne victorious. They'll play tomorrow evening. Here's Mortensen looking for Felder. Can't find him. He'll take a wild shot from way out. No good. And rebound to Crouch. His shot no good at the buzzer. 12-9. Parowan leads by 3 when we come back on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Way to spit that out there.
I was going to say V6.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a class.
Scott Langford, Dennis Aldridge, and a shot from Crouch to start the second quarter. It's up and in. Cuts the lead 2-1. Crouch with a nice one. Big shout out to Matt Labrum, and a good friend of both of ours. He's a great coach and a good friend.
Yeah, I tried to hire him one time. Couldn't quite get him away.
Well, I tried to recruit him as well, so it wasn't just you. Here's Felder with an offensive rebound and a foul. That might be on Austin Thomas. And I think if I were going to talk about a key to the game, it would be that Austin Thomas can't end up in foul trouble this morning. This afternoon.
Yeah, no, he can't. No, Austin Thomas a big key, and he hasn't come through yet with a 3-pointer, but he's a key for them.
Here we go. 11 for the Wolves. The Rams with the 1-point lead and the ball. Underneath, there's Robinson, and that will be foul either on Crouch or Thomas.
I think it's going to go Thomas.
And it is going to be on Thomas. So we talked about it. That is foul number 2, and that is big trouble.
And I look at what Parowan's doing. It looks like to me they're taking some terrible chances trying to throw the ball on backdoor cutters with lots of people down inside, but they're getting away with it. They're getting the ball down in there, making some points. And making passes that don't look like they should be there.
Yeah,
you should never throw those passes, but they're doing it.
Quick turnover by the Wolves as you talk about turnovers. With the ball is Whitman, covered by Millett. Millett looking outside. He has Hunt. And knocked away by Hall, picked up by Crouch. Crouch in a tough double team. Throws it out of bounds off of Mortensen. Last touch by the Rams.
Now, is that Walt Whitman?
Yeah. The singing slinger. Brady Crouch on the baseline. Crouch looking inside. Having a hard time finding anybody. Does find Hunt. Knocked away, though, by Hall. Picked up by Mortensen. Here comes the Rams in transition. Underneath, and Millett with a huge alley-oop dunk. Wow. Parowan high flying.
That one didn't look like it was there either. The defender had no idea that they was coming there.
Holy cow.
That's great anticipation and great teamwork and confidence in your teammate.
Yeah, what a great highlight. Straight away, the Wolves down by 3, 14-11. Inside, here's Whitman. Turns and fires. Back to Randall. Randall underneath to Whitman. Back to Randall. Trey stops. Inside to Hunt. Hunt runs into Millett. And there'll be a foul on Luke Millett, his first personal foul.
Got to challenge him.
Yeah.
And, this is the difference. The northern teams, there wasn't that much height. And so when they see a tall guy, they don't challenge it. But these southern teams, everybody has a big.
They do.
And so they're challenging them. They're not afraid to challenge them.
Brady Crouch with his second bucket of the quarter. He's got all 4 of Enterprise's points in the second quarter. And the lead cut to 1, 14-13. Here's Mortensen with it for Parowan. Drives on the baseline. And what a beautiful move. Cash Mortensen up and under.
Yeah, kind of stutter stepped on the drive. Looked like he's going to go back out to the corner. Defense let up a little bit, and he went right by it.
Lead back to 3. Enterprise with it. Hunt straight away, covered by Hall. Hunt fakes, drives, turns, kicks back to Randall. Quickly covered by Robinson. Back up, free throw line jumper. Whitman, good.
Whitman's been good offensively. He's got some nice shots from 15 on in, both from the wing and then from the free throw line. He's keeping them in here.
Here's Felder with the ball, covered by Staley. Staley knocks away, And Felder gets it back. Felder drives in underneath to Hall. Hall loses the ball, picked up by Randall. Here comes Enterprise. On the left side, Crouch drives hard in the baseline, goes up and blocked away. And it's going to be picked up by Robinson. Robinson quickly ahead for Parowan. And he'll be taken away by Randall. Another turnover. And back come the Wolves.
The last shot was blocked, but Felder was there for a block too. He actually hit his head on the bank board trying to block it, but it was blocked by somebody else first.
So Hunt on the baseline gets called for travel. It was about a 1 second delay on the call. It was kind of an easy call, but the referee waited just a second. And a timeout on the floor for Coach Bud Randall. It's the Parowan Rams 16, Enterprise 15 when we come back on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPS sees 2 950-megawatt
Edition of Fight Slamma Jamma.
I think it is. That's a 5-point lead in the third dunk for Parowan. Here's Hunt at the free throw line. Back up top to Staley. Staley steps back out looking for Crouch. Brady with it, covered by Mortensen inside. Little ball, a little bit errant to the right. Goes out of bounds.
Parowan, Enterprise is going to have to develop. I know they've got them. They've always got the shooters, but, they've got to do something from the outside right now. I think that to kind of stretch this game out, they're trying to go inside. That's important, but they've got to get some production from way outside.
2-3 zone for the Enterprise Wolves. Robinson in the corner, in the trap. Knocked away from him, picked up by Felder. Felder underneath, and he will be fouled. And if that's Austin Thomas, that'll be number 3. This could be devastating for the Enterprise Wolves.
That's one of those calls that's not so difficult.
No, it's on Trey Whitman.
When the player goes up and ends up 4 feet sideways, that's a little easier to call that one. I could call that one.
Yeah, so Whitman picks up his first personal foul. That's a little bit of good fortune for the Enterprise Wolves. Here's Felder, covered by Staley. Staley knocks it away. Great job by Tice, and picked up by Hunt. Back comes Crouch and the Wolves, down 5, 20-15. Same exact score down in Cedar City with Manti up 5 over Canyon View, 20-15. Inside pass knocked down, another steal, a little sloppy in the second quarter. Ahead of the pack is Millett. Millett will go up over Whitman, and an offensive foul, kind of an easy call.
Yeah, it is sloppy, like you said, but a lot of this is, like I said earlier, both teams are trying to make passes where, from this vantage point, it's not possible to make those passes.
Yeah.
Now, Parowan's gotten away with a few because of the strength of Millett and Felder, but they're trying to make passes that really aren't possible. They're not there.
And here's a quick timeout by the Parowan Rams. We'll see if it's a 30. We'll keep it here. No, we'll just keep it here. And, Coach, we talked about this a little bit. The keys to the game for this one really is going to be the inside game for the Parowan Rams and then the outside presence of the Enterprise Wolves. And so far, Felder and Millett have been huge inside. Millett has 9 and Felder was 6.
Well, the 9 that Whitman's got, it's not Whitman, excuse me. Millett's got are off passes from Felder.
Yeah.
Because they're intent on taking Felder out of the low block. And even though they're getting the ball into him, he can't even turn around inside his own shirt because of the presence that are around him.
Which leaves the back lane.
But he's making some decent passes. The passes I was concerned about are the exterior passes from the point and the wings trying to come down inside of the low block to cutters. When you got all that defense down in there on Felder, those passes aren't there. Both teams, in my opinion right now, need some kind of outside presence.
Hunter Bettridge checks in, number 21, for the Parowan Rams. Taking a seat will be Millett. He's got those 2 personal fouls. Parowan by 5, 20-15 in this quarterfinal matchup. Here's Thomas. Left side covered by Felder. Thomas back, and Felder blocks it away, picked up by Robinson. Back comes the Rams. Felder ahead of the pack. Knocked away again. This one time by Austin Thomas. That was a brave move by Thomas.
It is when you got the 2 fouls on you. It really is.
And here's Hunt. He will be fouled by either Mortensen or Robinson. And
do they give the continuation in high school?
I don't. Hall. It's his first personal foul. So back in the game comes Whitman pretty quickly. Thomas out. So this is where your protection for Thomas is.
You got 2 minutes left. It's a 5-point game. Get him out of there. Hope it doesn't become a 25-point game while he's on the bench, but the likelihood of that is not good.
Whitman back to Crouch, covered by Mortensen. Over to Randall. Randall's 3 up, no good. Staley's shot back up, no good. Felder with the board.
He just holds the defense off with one and reaches up and grabs with the other.
Mortensen straight away now. 1:44 left in the half. 5-point lead for Parowan. They have the ball. Here's Hall. Hall over inside Felder. Felder with the triple team. Hall kicks back up. Mortensen way out from downtown, and he knocks it down. Cash Mortensen 8 first half points.
That's what I'm talking about right there. You go into Felder, you come out of Felder into a 3-point shot. The outside presence that I was talking about.
8-point lead inside. Going to be Staley, and that ball's going to be saved. Back to Hunt.
Great effort.
Hunt drives on the right side, turns, spins, shoots, and no score, however. And there's going to be Whitman. His shot up, no good, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Brock Felder.
Whitman's not shy. He goes right in there and gets after it.
Yes, he is. Brady Crouch on the baseline. 1:05 left. Enterprise with the ball, but they're down 8. 23-15. Whitman back to Crouch. Crouch covered by Mortensen. Flashing is Staley. Back up. Randall for 3. Shot is good. A much-needed bucket for the Wolves. Trey Randall.
I wish I could patent what I said, because once in a while it makes sense. And right there, both teams with a bit of an outside presence.
Yeah. Here's another shot. This one, Robinson for 3. That one's no good. Rebound, and they're going to call a...
Well, Whitman was hanging on him when as he fell down, and he literally pulled the Enterprise Parowan player backwards after that rebound.
So Whitman picks up his second personal foul coming in the game. Will be number 44, Colton Siegmiller. 16 foul from here on out. It'll be the Parowan Rams in the bonus. A little bit of action underneath as the referee talks to the 2 players.
Felder kind of reacting to the fact that they're kind of hanging all over him. I don't blame him for that.
There's Felder inside, knocked away again as he tries to put it on the floor. Brady Crouch comes up with the steal.
And he flings him after that. He's lucky he didn't get the technical right there.
Crouch
he is not happy with the physical contact right now.
Crouch straight away. 23 seconds left. There's about 1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. They looked for Coach Bud Randall and said, what do we got? So here comes the play call. I'm surprised they just didn't keep going. Down 5. Crouch inside Staley. Staley goes up and scores over Felder. Ty Staley for 2. Knocks it down at the buzzer. Ooh. Shot is up. Ooh, almost in by Mortensen. And what a first half of basketball. Parowan up by as much as 8. Sees their halftime lead 3. 23-20. And we'll be back with some stats and more on this one on TeamHive.live. All powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Zions Bank proudly supports our local communities and schools. We've been providing families and businesses with banking tools and stellar service for nearly 150 years. For helping you achieve your financial goals, Zions Bank is for you.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or while on the go. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Call or visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Attention job seekers. Are you looking for a career that will challenge and excite you every day? Look no further than Strata Networks. We are now hiring for a variety of positions in an industry that is fast-paced and always evolving. If you're ready for new opportunities and the chance to grow, visit us online at stratanetworks.com/careers or call 435-622-5007 for more information. Don't miss out on this exciting chance to join the Strata Networks team. Strata Networks. We connect lives.
Hi, I'm Dustin Shakespeare, the Central Region Pathways Coordinator. Do you know what pathways are offered at your high school that connect with Snow College? Students enrolled in career technical education courses can develop valuable real-world technical skills and a strong academic foundation. Over 630 students completed CTE pathways last year in the Central Utah region. Our 35 pathways empower students to explore career options, pursue what they are passionate about, and earn valuable industry certifications. To learn more about these career pathways, talk to your CTE teachers and school counselors today.
Welcome back. Scott Langford, Dennis Aldridge here on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, and appreciate V6 Media as well. It's halftime, number 1 and number 8, the Enterprise Wolves and the Parowan Rams. And Coach, we talked about it beforehand, not your typical 1-8 matchup. This is usually, a little bit of a mismatch as the number 1 team, but in this Region 19, these two teams split during the season, and we've got a very competitive quarterfinal matchup today.
Much like the game previous to it, I mean, when two teams know each other this well, and again, know what to work on, what works, what doesn't work, I'm sure there's some wrinkles that Parowan has got into this thing to counteract Enterprise's abilities. Yeah. We'll see what happens after halftime. But, yeah, it's a tremendous basketball game, and you wish these two could be playing somebody else.
Yeah, no, you really do. These are two of the top teams, and they have been all season long. Parowan a little up and down, Enterprise very consistent, and so kind of crazy how we've seen that. It's time for a stat check inside our halftime, and let's take a look at these real quick, Coach. And I think we'll talk a little bit about rebounds, but also field goal percentage, as Enterprise's style has been to just mob the underneath with Brock Felder and triple teams routinely. And on the other side of the ball, Parowan is just playing straight-up man-to-man defense, trying to keep everybody out of the middle.
Yeah, they really are. Well, you can do that when you got Felder sitting down in there, too. Felder and Millett, they can handle any kind of penetration that comes off the edge, and so you can kind of turn them loose to go down in there. But Parowan Enterprise really mobbing Felder, and I think a key to watch out for is at the end of that first half, Felder had lost his composure, and he easily could have picked up a couple of technical fouls going into the end of that thing. He needs to settle that down and keep playing his game. he knows they're going to come out and get after him. So,
well, and he typically, I've watched Felder and Brock in several different games. He is very even and level-headed typically.
Yeah.
So
that's what surprised me.
But the triple team is frustrating him just a little bit, all the contact.
So that's where I felt like the outside game, and sure enough, they hit a three-pointer, but Enterprise goes right back down and matches it. So no advantage. There
you go. Let's take a look at some of our halftime stats. Big thanks to those at Salt Lake Community College who provide those stats for us, and we appreciate it very much. But what do you see, Coach, in the stats?
Well, for Parowan, I see that only 3 players have scored. Now, Millard tried that, and it didn't work.
Right.
But you've got 3 players scoring. You've got Cash Mortensen with 8, and you've got Luke Millett with 9, and Brock Felder with 6. That's it. And I know it's a low-scoring game, but you've got to get production out of the other boys. The only way to get the pressure off of Brock Felder is for somebody else to step up and make something happen.
Yeah.
And right now that's not happening.
That is completely true. And let's take a look at field goal percentage really quick. The first half, Parowan shooting 53%. That's pretty good. And again, 3 dunks and a lot of stuff inside. If we had a shot chart, you would see that most of those shots have been inside.
Yeah, they have.
On the Enterprise side, only shooting 40%, but 50% from downtown, but only 2 for 4. So 9 for 22 from the 2-point range.
Yeah, that'll change. Enterprise is pretty good shooters. And when you say outsides, a lot of those shots, even though they're considered outside shots, have been in the paint. Little 5-footers, little 10-footers that they're trying to shoot. They don't dare go all the way to the basket because of Felder and Millett.
Yeah, they don't. As you can watch, Thompson Coles with the highlights. Appreciate him bringing this to us. And you'll see hopefully some of the dunks on this highlight reel as you watch it. There have been some good ones. And you've got Millett with a couple, and Felder. There's the first one by Brock Felder. And he's been just amazing. Inside, that's just a putback. And we're still waiting for that. I want to see Millett's follow-up. I think those were both in the second quarter. But pretty amazing. On the turnover side of things, 10 for the Parowan Rams, 8 for the Wolves. A little bit higher for both teams than I would expect. There's your dunk from Millett on the alley-oop. A little higher than expect, but they cancel each other out with the numbers.
I think that lends to the low score and also the rattiness, is what I call it, of this basketball game.
Yeah.
It hasn't been smooth. It hasn't been flowing. Like I said, they're trying to take things away, and so it's been a little bit more of a ratty, open sprawl, almost a scrum going on out there. And we'll see if they change that around, because these are good athletes and good players, good teams.
Well, and trouble for the Enterprise Wolves in that first half was the 2 fouls for Austin Thomas. He's really, the size Whitman plays also very big, but Thomas really the only one with size to compete with Millett and Felder inside. This is a tough matchup.
Yeah, and he was going on Felder early, but got the 2 fouls, and he's also the one that steps out. He's a stretch 5 because he steps out and hits the 3-pointers too. So, they've got to have him in the game.
Real quick, individual scoring. Luke Millett leads all scorers with 9 points, 8 points for Cash Mortensen, and 6 for Brock Felder. On the Enterprise side of things, total points. Let's see, you've got 4 for Brady Crouch as well as Trayson Whitman, 5 for Trayson Randall, 3 for Austin Thomas, and 2 apiece for Dax Hunt and Cody Staley. So not a lot of scoring with either of these two teams, and 23-20. What do you see as the keys to the second half?
Well, again, to me, for Parowan, it is, things have been working the way they are, but if they're going to make a big run, they've got to get something going 15 foot out to pull some of that pressure off of Felder. They tried to bring Felder out and let him get the ball and then maybe slash and kick or slash and then slam. But I think that's going to be the key. Enterprise has good transition. They've got 6 players that have scored. That's double what Parowan's had. So they're getting good contributions. But again, I think they need to get some consistency in their game. They're taking a gamble defensively. It's working right now, but they just need to smooth out their game, I think.
Yeah, and I think both teams in the second half, I think foul trouble will play, especially for the Enterprise Wolves. I think Austin Thomas, for me, will be the key to the second half for the Wolves to stay in this one. Thomas has to be in the game, and he has to be effective with the twin towers of Felder and Millett.
I think Enterprise, too, and again, they've got the scouting report, I don't, but I think they're making a fatal mistake, just like Millard did against the big guy, and that is when they start to go inside, they just naturally step back because of Brock Felder. You're not going to get him in foul trouble if you don't challenge him.
That's true.
You've got to go in there, maybe swats a couple, but you've got to get him up swatting around to get a foul or two. So if they want to neutralize Felder, fouls is one way. They got to get out and do something. So they got to challenge him.
You have a lot of fun. 23-20, Parowan, the number 8, over the number 1 Enterprise Wolves. Just really quickly to cover the other bracket, Kanab defeated American Preparatory Academy West Valley this morning, and it ended up by 13. They were up by as much as 23 in the fourth quarter. And then in overtime, the Duchesne Eagles knock off the number 2 seed, the Millard Eagles, kind of the first big chip to fall. In this one, you had that call. What a great game that was. Exciting.
Yeah. Every time Millard and Duchesne get together, one thing for sure, the Eagles always win.
That much is true.
But it's been a dogfight every time, every single time. And this time it went Duchesne's way because they were the better team on today.
Down in Cedar City, it's 28-23. Manti with a halftime lead over the Canyon View Falcons.
Boy, some low-scoring games.
Both of them.
These are high-flying offenses, both here and down there.
Well, you look at what these two teams average, and I'll tell you here, the completely different than what you would expect. The Enterprise Wolves average 63 points on the season, so well below their average.
Yeah.
Parowan averaging 56.
Yeah.
So here we go. Second half action from the Salt Lake Community College. Inside, pass knocked down. Thomas and Staley will pick it up. So the first turnover goes to the Parowan Rams.
Tried to roll Felder down the lane for the alley-oop, and Thomas, like you said, that's key, got up and knocked it away.
Crouch with it straightaway, man-to-man defense for Parowan. Crouch, 12-foot jumper right side, no good under heavy pressure. Felder big, goes up, and a foul will be called, I think, on Ty Staley.
Or is it? Yeah.
Staley picks up foul number 2.
And that was Staley was the one that when in mix-up really with Felder in both ends of the court, offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
And so they're still going right at each other.
Yeah, you can see Staley, no matter where Felder is, he's face guarding and staying very close.
And he's being physical with him.
Yep, Felder on the outside edge, outside the three-point line, drives in. Underneath to Millett. Millett goes up and gets it, back up. Athletic move for Luke Millett.
Luke Millett knows when Felder gets it, get yourself open underneath. Well, not even open, but get yourself into a place where you can score.
Yeah, in that first half, let's look at assists for Brock Felder. He had 4 assists in the first half. Well, Robinson tries for a steal. Can't quite get it. Does hit the line. Stays on the Enterprise end. Enterprise will line up the 4 at the free throw line. Looking underneath. Staley over Robinson. Staley turns. Goes up. Shot no good. Knocked out of bounds by Thomas. So Parowan with the basketball.
Both teams are good with their hands, and so you see a lot of this kind of stumble, almost fall down stuff because the ball's being poked. They're trying to get it back, and they're kind of stumbling around out there. That leads to what I call rattiness. But it's defense is dictating a lot of that.
Mortensen on the side to Robinson. He'll drive in, kick back up. Millett left side to Hall. 6:30 left in the third. It's a 5-point lead. Parowan with the ball. Free throw line jumper for Mortensen. Shot up, softly up and in. 7-point lead.
Wow.
4-0 run makes it the biggest lead of the game for either team, which is 7. Nope. Actually, Parowan led by 8 in the second quarter.
Right there's another exchange where you had Austin Thomas down inside, posted up. The offensive player with the ball looked at him, and he knew he had Felder behind him, wouldn't throw it in there.
Felder's actually played a lot of games in this facility during his AAU time. Hunt outside to Crouch on the right side to Whitman. Whitman fakes, goes up under pressure. Nice shot for the sophomore, Trey Whitman.
Whitman's been good. What's he got, 8 points now?
He's got 6.
Well, it's close.
Yeah.
But
lead back down to 5. Left side, here's Felder, drives in, stops underneath to Millett. Millett at the bucket, shot, no good. Rebound, knocked out by Thomas, picked up by Staley. Back come the Wolves. Crouch with it on the right side. He'll drive into the lane, kick back out to Thomas. Thomas breaks on the baseline, shot with the left hand, no good. Rebound, going to be taken by Thomas. Shot up, no good, but he is fouled.
Got to challenge the big feller.
Yeah, and I think he did. I think that'll be first foul.
Thomas hesitates there, gets him up in the air a little bit, then goes up against him and gets the foul called. But this is what Enterprise was lacking with Thomas on the bench with the 2 fouls in the first half.
First free throws of the game for the the Enterprise Wolves, as they did not shoot a free throw in the first half. But on the other side, Parowan only shot 2.
Yeah.
First free throws up, no good for Thomas. Second shot up, no good as well. And Felder with the rebound.
3 points. Got to get them.
Back come the Parowan Rams. Here's Mortensen with it, covered by Hunt. Mortensen drives in, Euro step up, no good. Millett almost follows it up. He'll save it, though, with the offensive rebound. Mortensen out to Felder. Felder drives. Stopped by Staley, knocked down by Staley, picked up by Thomas. Thomas and Felder go up, and Felder blocks it away.
He
goes out of bounds.
You can see him coming, so he switches to the right hand and tries to stick it way out there. And it wasn't far enough.
Watch this replay. You can see this really well done look. So with the left hand, up and out for Brock Felder.
Felder's
Beautiful.
not just tall. He jumps really well.
He really
does. For a
does.
big guy, he gets up pretty good.
Back comes Crouch, right side to Staley. Left side, Thomas now. Hunt looking for Staley on the cutter. Back up to Thomas. 14 on the shot clock. Inside, there's Staley. Back to Whitman. Whitman shot up and good.
Got a little high-low action of their own there.
Yeah, Whitman's got all 4 of Enterprise's points in the second half. He's got 4. Felder underneath to Millett. Knocked out of bounds by Crouch.
Nice pass, though. One bounce dribble and flips it underhanded behind himself to Millett.
A lot of confidence in Millett also to catch that. That was a bullet pass.
Felder's going to have marks on his ribs.
Felder underneath, just jumps over everybody and puts it in. Beautiful pass from Mortensen. The lead back to 5. Now turnover on the Wolves.
Whitman actually gets a shot, but he's stumbling. He throws it up, hits the bottom of the rim.
So it
comes back down. So
rebound,
it's a shot, not a turnover.
Back come Parowan with the 5-point lead, 29-24. Left side, Felder. Inside to Millett. Millett covered by Thomas. Goes up under pressure. How about Luke Millett? Wow. Tough shot.
Still on the inbound pass. Put back in
by Mortensen.
So Enterprise kind of going to sleep a little bit here.
So that is a 6-0 run by the Rams. Hunt, 3-point shot left side. How about that? A big shot by Dax Hunt.
Timely basket. They needed that really, really bad.
That's a lead to 3. 7, rather.
7, I was going to say 3. My math is wrong.
Shot by Millets up, bounces around, no good. And that could be Austin Thomas. And it is. That'll be the 3rd foul for Austin.
Well, at least you got laid into the 3rd quarter before you did it, so you can afford to leave him there maybe right now. Just be careful.
So 10 was the biggest lead of the game. Shot is up and no good by Millett. First free throws of the second half, and Millett's got all the free throws in the game. He's now 1 for 3 from the free throw line.
Whitman comes out. He's been kind of a spark on offense, but he's out of there for now.
Replacing him will be Randall. And they're going to say a lane violation.
Nope.
No, a foul.
No, on the rebound, it was a push-off.
Wyatt Hall. So he'll pick up foul number 2. So Millett and Hall both with 2. Robinson and Felder both with 1. Back come the Wolves. Crouch with it. Right side to Hunt. Hunt drives baseline. Beautiful take. Stops underneath to Thomas. Thomas and Millett will tie it up. And the ball will go back to the Parowan Rams. You know, both these teams, super quick hands.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and they're strong, too.
Yeah.
Strong players. They don't want to give anything up.
They're going to have them check.
One side said it was Enterprise. One side said it was Parowan, so now their coaches are questioning it.
So it should be Enterprise. Yeah. That is correct. Parowan had it at the half, and I don't think we've had a jump ball, right?
No, the underneath official had it right. The outside official, because the clock over here was wrong.
Well, I even called it. So, I mean, because the arrow was pointing towards the other one.
Enterprise, yeah.
Yep. Down in Cedar City, 33-29. Caneyview at the line can cut into the lead by Manti. Number 1. Both number 1s in close matchups. Randall fakes, goes around, back up to Thomas. Thomas thinks about a three-point shot, drives in, and he'll go back around, and they'll call a blocking call on Waylon Robinson. And both players down on the ground, Robinson up, and Felder helps up Thomas. Thomas holding his lower back.
Called the block. Again, that could have gone either way. It looked like to me it might be the offensive call. Could go either way. Those calls are tough.
Whitman will be quickly back up in the game. He'll replace, I think, Austin Thomas. 2:45 left in the third. It's a 6-point lead. Parowan 33, Enterprise 27. Big thanks to those who make this possible on TeamHive.live from Centricom, and also the assistants from V6 Media for today's broadcast. Beautiful pictures, replays, and all. Big thanks to all those who make this possible.
Another discussion.
They're going to change that foul. Well, no, he had it. Yep, so they weren't sure who it was on. I had it on Waylon. Here's Crouch on the baseline.
They need to start asking us up here.
I know, we know things. Well, kind of.
What we don't know, we think we know.
Underneath, there's Whitman up on Millett. Tough bucket and a great shot.
This Whitman kid is impressing me. I didn't know much about him before this game, but offensively, defensively, he's doing some really nice things for for Enterprise.
10 points, cuts the lead to 4, 33-29. Number 1, Enterprise. Number 8, Parowan. And there's going to be foul on Hunt with a hand check. That's 2 on Dax. 3 team fouls apiece for these two teams. 33-29, Parowan with the ball in the 4-point advantage. Mortensen inside to Robinson, picked up by Hall. Back out to Felder. Felder drives on the baseline. To Robinson, top of the key to Mortensen. Mortensen thinks about a long three, doesn't take it. Inside, there's Felder on the baseline. Covered by Staley. Back out, Mortensen. Mortensen can hit him from there, has before. Got 15 on the shot clock. Parowan will reset the offense. Mortensen.
Staley is just leaning all over Felder.
Under Felder to Robinson. Robinson inside, out to Millett, knocked down. Millett almost gets it back, but Crouch comes up with it. Turnover on the Rams. Back comes Randall. Tracing out to Crouch. Crouch will reset the offense straight away, covered by Mortensen. Man-to-man defense still for Parowan. Crouch struggling to get loose. Stops. Inside to Whitman. Back up to Staley. 15 on the shot clock. Enterprise just a little bit out of sync, and you can see it.
They really are. They're not smooth at all.
Yep, down to 5 on the shot clock. Hunt with it back up to Randall, over to Crouch. Crouch drives in. Free throw line jumper. Big bucket by Brady Crouch.
Kind of double clutched in the air, but was able to make it work.
That was a big bucket on a possession that wasn't that good. Inside, here's Felder. Felder at the bucket. Reach, and then he'll get his own offensive rebound up. No good. Millett, offensive rebound up. Foul. He'll go to the free throw line. Wow.
That was twice he wanted to slam that, and they're just all over him. He can't get a free shot. Felder, I mean.
Yeah.
And they really have neutralized him. Third quarter, he hadn't done much of anything offensively. He has got a couple of assists, but not been able to make the offensive impact that he was making.
Luke Millett's free throw, no good. He's got another one coming quickly in the game for Enterprise. Will be Colton Siegmiller. And Austin Thomas back in the game for the Wolves as well with 58.9 left. Thomas stays. He will go down and take his spot on the lane. So coming out will be, I think, Ty Staley and Trayson Randall. Straight away, here's Millett. Free throws up, no good, and rebound to Thomas. Back come the Wolves. Down by 2, 33-31. You can feel some momentum shift in the crowd at least. Here's Crouch inside. Step back out. Siegmiller with it. Back up to Crouch. Straight away Thomas. Back to Crouch. 18 on the shot clock. 39 on the game clock. Crouch right side. Hands to Whitman. Left side now. Siegmiller looking inside. Has Hunt. Hunt goes up. Tough shot. No good. Rebound to Millett. Back to Mortensen. 25 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Felder back out to Mortensen. Parowan will wait. Four-corner offense for the Parowan Rams. Millett in the middle. Hall right side. 12 seconds.
They've had Staley on Felder. Right now they've got
Thomas
back on him with those 3 fouls.
5 seconds left. Felder's going to shoot this from deep. He does. Shot is up and no good. Rebound to Millett, but no shot attempt. The end of 3, the Parowan Rams maintain their 2-point advantage. It was 3 at the half, it's 2 at the fourth, and we go into the fourth quarter with a ball game here at the Salt Lake Community College, and happy to be along on TeamHive.live and V6 Media.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. Bookmark TeamHive.live, Utah's new home for streaming high school sports and other events. Powered by Centricom Local 10.
Edge Tire Pros in Nephi is the smart choice for a new set of tires for your pickup, work vehicle, or passenger car. The technicians at Edge Tire Pros provide trustworthy service on oil changes, brake work, and suspension accessories like lift kits, bed liners, and custom rims. Choose from a wide variety of tires including Cooper, BF Goodrich, and Michelin with a nationwide warranty on free flat tire repair, free rotation, and free road hazard. For a limited time, get the Edge Bronze oil change for just $19.99. Edge Tire Pros across the street from Parks Home Furnishings on Main Street in Nephi.
One to go at Salt Lake Community College. It's the Enterprise Wolves and the Parowan Rams. Right now it's the number 8 Parowan Rams with a 2-point advantage over the Wolves of Enterprise. Parowan has the ball to start fourth quarter action. Millett left side to Mortensen. Mortensen inside. Millett at the bucket. Shot up. No good, but he's fouled, and that might be Austin Thomas, number 4.
It is. But Millett made a mistake there because he had the near side with the basket protecting him. He tried to go far side and allowed the defense to get to him. Got the foul call, but that layup might have been a lot easier.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Near side.
A lot of pressure on the senior Millett as he is now 1-4-7 in the ball game.
Maybe if they'd let Felder throw it to him at the free throw line, then he could shoot it in a lot easier.
Yeah, there you go. Hunt back in. Thomas will check out with those 4 personal fouls. That's a dilemma for Coach Randall and the coaching staff.
Yeah, it really is.
Second free throw for Millett's up. No good as well. That's 1 for 8. Millett's now missed his last 6 free throws. That's tough. Wolves down 2 with the ball. Here's Crouch. Coming up next will be
American Heritage.
South Severe and American Heritage. That'll be a great game. Have that here. Crouch, free throw line jumper. Can he tie it up? He does. We're all tied at 33.
Comes off that high screen, stops for a 15-foot jump shot, rolls it in.
The Wolves haven't led since the beginning of the first quarter of play.
Think it's going to get closer.
Yep. Felder to Robinson. Back up top to Millett. Millett looking inside to Felder. Just goes up in traffic, gets it, shoots it, no good. And he'll be fouled to go the free throw line.
He's frustrated down inside there because he rubs his head where somebody hit him. He rubs his thigh where somebody else hit him. And then he's rubbing his knee.
Dax Hunt picks up foul number 3. This will be the first free throws from anybody but Millett, and it goes down for Brock Felder.
It struggled, but it got down.
Yep, 9 points for Brock. Can he get 10? Short, no good. Rebound, Millett up, knocks it, picked up by Hall, and then mobbed. It's going to be a jump ball, I believe, and we'll go back to the Enterprise Wolves.
Like the earlier game, Duchesne was getting all the 50-50 giveaways. And I think right here, Parowan is outplaying in that category. They're forcing a lot of things, extra rebounds, tipping balls. They're doing a good job, probably a little bit better than Enterprise at this point.
34-33. Right now it's Parowan Rams with a 1-point lead. The Enterprise could take the lead. In comes Randall underneath to Whitman. Whitman up against Millett. Shot up no good. Millett with the block. And a foul will go to the Enterprise Wolves. And this is trouble. This is, I believe, free throws now for the Parowan Rams from here on out. And the foul's number 5, Trey Whitman, his 3rd personal foul.
Whitman's done a good job, but in that case right there with his back to the basket, when he tried to turn the defensive pressure, he got kind of tangled up on himself. And that was not the normal game that he's played thus far. Of course, most of his points are coming from that little 15-footer. But he's going to have to do a little better job on the.
Millett hits the front end of the one-on-one. 1-and-1. That was a relief free throw for the senior, Luke Millett. Second free throw's up. That one looks good. And that bounces out, though. And the lead's at 2. 35-33, 6:33 left. Back come the Wolves. Down in Cedar City, 41 for the Templars, 37 for Canyon View. And they're just about the end of the third quarter play. Here's Randall back up top to Crouch. Back on the baseline, Crouch. Dribbles all the way around. Millett underneath to Whitman. Here's the double team. Whitman back out to Crouch. Top of the key, Randall. Randall fakes, shoots, and no good. Rebound to Crouch as he out-hustles the Parowan Rams. Brady Crouch with a big board. He had the big bucket also.
Yep.
To tie it up. There's Whitman on Millett. Kicks back out. Hunt, three-point jumper. It's good. Enterprise with a 1-point lead.
Enterprise calls a timeout quickly.
All right, we'll take it as well. Be back after this on V6 Media, TeamHive.live, all powered by Centricom.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
Back, Scott Langford, Dennis Aldridge, and appreciate everyone who makes this possible. Hope you enjoy this, all those watching from Parowan and Enterprise. And the Region 19 matchup between the number 1 Enterprise Wolves and the number 8 Parowan Rams. And right now it's 36 for the Wolves and 35 for the Rams. It's been a fun back and forth ball game. And Parowan with the ball down by that 1 point. What do you think the coaches said in their timeout?
Stop doing what you're doing wrong and start doing something right.
Poetic.
If that's all it took to coaching, that'd be pretty good, huh?
That would be. Run more plays that work.
Yep.
Right side, here's Hall. Straight away, here's Mortensen. Mortensen drives. Man-man defense. Mortensen gets a bump from Whitman, and they will get the call. That'll be 4 personal fouls on Trey Whitman. And listen to this, Coach. This is trouble as you've got Trayson Whitman with 4 personal fouls, 3 for Ty Staley, 4 for Austin Thomas, and 3 for Dax Hunt.
Better not go to overtime, huh?
They're going to run out of players. And there's a shot up and in. Mortensen knocks down his first free throw of the game. Mortensen's been a bright spot. 12 points in the game for Mortensen. He averages 10. Second shot's no good. However, Parowan's left a lot of free throws on the board. Not a field goal in this fourth quarter. They are 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 3 for 8 in the fourth. Wow. So 5 points left on the floor. Here's Crouch with the ball on the baseline. Up top to Randall. Trayson with it. Looks to the left side for Staley. Instead has it back out to Hunt. 5:13 left. 12 on the shot clock. Hunt looking for the back door back to Crouch. Crouch on the baseline. Takes a shot. Short, no good. Rebound to Mortensen. Mortensen will bring it out on the right side. An alley-oop up to Felder. Felder will step on the line and touch the ball. And so it'll go back to Enterprise.
He's really frustrated. They're trying to get something going inside. I noticed last time down, too, they're so intent on Felder that they're not even guarding some of the players on the perimeter out there, and they're not looking to shoot. That's why I stated I think they've got to get some outside game going. Yeah. It's late in the game to do it, but that's why Felder has been ineffective.
Whitman takes a seat again. And there's Thomas with a beautiful move on the baseline, and the lead goes back to the Wolves.
They run a crisscross off the high post, and he fakes the handoff. Defense sucks in on it. He turns and goes right to the hoop uncontested.
5th lead change of the game. 38 for the Wolves, 36 for the Rams. Felder on the baseline. And they will call a block on Austin Thomas. And that, if that is the case, that will be number 5, I believe.
It is on him. They're screaming that he was there, that it should have been an offensive foul.
Let's see if we can get a replay on this. I couldn't tell live. So Thomas sets up, and takes the contact. I just didn't see it good enough to tell.
I didn't either. The only thing I think is that maybe he got to the side, but again, the frustration for Felder, they're trying to get him the ball, and as he starts down the lane, he's getting grabbed and slapped. The ball's getting knocked away.
So how will the Wolves do without Austin Thomas the rest of the way? 4:29 left. Shot is up and in for Felder.
Well, think about it. They played most of this game without Austin Thomas. So
they really have.
He's made an impression when he's been on the court, but he's been on the bench an awful lot in the ball game.
Felder steps up. Second free throw is good. So we're back tied at 38, our third tie of the game. Back comes Crouch.
Big key for Enterprise might be the next guy that fouls out.
Yep.
Because that really will eat into their depth.
Crouch for three on the left side. Up, no good. Rebound going to be Staley's. Shot up and in. But give a big credit to, who was it, Siegmiller?
Yeah, Siegmiller knocked it away. He dumped it down in.
It was actually Randall, I think, but what a great tip. Mortensen. Left side dribble, down two inside to Felder. Felder triple teamed underneath. Hall for the bucket. Another assist
right
to
there.
Felder.
Yep. The backside defender did not slide down into that slot. There wasn't Millett this time either.
Nope. Here's Crouch. To Whitman. Right at the free throw line. Over the right side to Randall. Randall drives in. Fakes Felder. Gets him up in the air. Blocked away though. Felder out. Crouch straight away. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Randall. Back up to Crouch.
Fake him in the air, and he still makes the block.
I know. 6 on the shot clock to Hunt for three. Shot is up. No good. Rebound tipped out by Whitman, but picked up by Robinson. Robinson will get it to Mortensen. We're all tied at 40. 3 minutes left in the game, and a timeout by the Parowan Rams. We'll take it as well and be back with more on TeamHive.live. And V6 Media, all powered by Centricom.
Zions Bank proudly supports our local communities and schools. We've been providing families and businesses with banking tools and stellar service for nearly 150 years. For helping you achieve your financial goals, Zions Bank is for you.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or while on the go. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Call or visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Scott Langford, Dennis Aldridge back at the Salt Lake Community College. And this is the first time I've ever been here, and we've had some good games. The last game went into overtime. This one, all tied at 40. The number 1 and the number 8 seed out of Region 19. As far as I'm concerned, I said, those 4 teams out of Region 19, Enterprise, Parowan, South Sevier, and Kanab, throw in Millard, who just got beat. But those 4 teams were those 4 teams, I don't think anybody would want to play them. And it's proving true. Number 1 and 8 all tied with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, we'll wait to see what American Heritage brings. That's the unknown for me.
Yeah,
I don't
me too.
know what they are, but very well could be 3 of the Southern teams in there.
So here we go. 3 minutes left in the game. Parowan with the ball. We're all tied at 40. The winner of this one will take on the winner of South Sevier and American Heritage. Robinson underneath. Felder takes away from Staley. Shot up and wow. Brock Felder underneath. Up and over.
Yep, mistake that Staley made there is that first time when the ball went to the wing, he stepped out on it. And he should have stayed home.
Yeah, Felder will pick up a reaching call as he made some contact with Staley. I read a good article about sportsmanship, and they were talking about, reaching. People want to foul for reaching. It's only if there's contact. There was contact on that one.
You think?
There was a little.
But those two have been going at it pretty hard.
They really have.
Very physical. In fact, I think Felder will have imprints on his.
Robinson now is going to pick up a foul. That'll be team foul number 5, and for Robinson, that's number 3.
They'll be able to look at his rib cage and take an X-ray.
Yeah.
They'll see elbow prints in his rib cage.
Yeah, it's been triple and double teams for Brock Felder all afternoon. Here's Crouch with it straight away, covered by Mortensen. Crouch reverse dribble, free throw line jumper. Crouch shot up, no good. Rebound. Credit Hall with a nice pickup on the offensive
He just
on the defensive end.
Yeah, he just out-hustled. It was Enterprise's ball, and he just took it away.
Mortensen to Robinson in the corner looking for Millett. Millett covered by Whitman.
That's a
and
travel.
They're giving it a travel. Yeah, he did the hop, anticipating the contact.
He was trying to push back on it and shuffled his feet. Yeah, a good body position by the defender for Parowan Enterprise.
Back come the Wolves, down 2, 42-40. Under 2 minutes to play.
Let's just play first team to 50.
Yeah. It's been a cold shooting battle, a very rough physical game for both teams. Here's Crouch. Crouch back up to Randall. Randall turns the corner on Robinson, stops, kicks back to Whitman. Whitman goes up, knocked away by Millett. Underneath Whitman in the double team. Randall on the baseline, 5 on the shot clock. Randall takes a shot, no good. Rebound Hall. Parowan holds serve.
That might be the key possession right there.
Inside, there's Felder at the bucket. Felder turns, kicks back to Millett. Back out to Robson. Robson, three-point jumper's up. No good. Hall takes it away from Crouch.
Oh, right
back
over the
up to
top.
Mortensen.
Yeah. Enterprise fans want something on that.
And a timeout for the Parowan Rams. We'll keep it here. And they want it over the back. I'm not sure if there was contact or not. Couldn't tell from here. It looked like there was, but we couldn't tell.
Wrong angle. We're way up here.
Yeah, we are a ways away. So anyway, 42-40. Parowan with a 2-point lead, and Parowan will have the ball with 1:08 left. You know, and a bucket makes this very precarious for the Enterprise Wolves on the comeback.
Really does, and they've got to stop this here. Make a huge defensive stand here. Even if they were to foul like Millett and put him at the line, you know, take that chance.
Yeah.
But although they don't have many fouls to give,
they don't.
But they've got to stop this and get it back with a 2-point game.
Yeah, 42-40. And again, earlier on, we had Kanab taking care of business against American Preparatory Academy West Valley. And then the Duchesne Eagles defeat Millard in overtime by 3. And so this is our third matchup. Coming up next will be South Sevier versus American Heritage. And that is a number 3-6 matchup. Ought to be a lot of fun.
Sure. They've been good games, and the first one with Kanab was at first, but then they just blew that one open.
They did, up by 23 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. But I may have misstated here. It's not first team to 50. It might be first to 44.
It might be.
So
absolutely could be. It's 1:08 left, 42 for the Parowan Rams and 40 for the Wolves. Again, the Wolves have been in the state championship game the last 3 seasons. Have finished second all 3 times.
They're wearing T-shirts this year that says "Finish it."
Finish it. There you go.
Finish the job.
Up to Millett, and Millett will get fouled. So you can see the free throw shooting. Coach Bud Randall says, "Let's put the senior Millett on the line."
I'd like to have patented that one too. We mentioned that one off there. You know, put Millett at the line. He hasn't shot well yet.
2 shots for Millett. So in the game, Millett is 2 out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And one more.
11. So 2 for 11. So the lead stays at 2, 42-40. What pressure for the senior.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Second free throw's
That's
up
too hard.
And no good. But Felder
over
tips
the top.
It out. Yep. Just does smartly. Uses his hand to tip it out rather than to grab the ball.
Yeah, there was no contact. He was so high that he could reach out over the top of the Parowan Enterprise player and just swat it away.
Robinson out to Mortensen. There's 19 on the shot clock, 41 on the game clock. Mortensen. Now 10 seconds on the game clock. Kicks out to Hall. Hall on the right side to Mortensen. Mortensen down 5 seconds left. Step back. Takes a 3, fadeaway jumper. Oh, wow. A big-time shot by Cash Mortensen, a fadeaway from the corner. The lead is 3. That was a 2-point shot, so the lead
is 4.
It's 4, 44-40. Staley drives on the baseline, uses the underneath. No good. Millett with the rebound. And Parowan looks like they might be set to upset. Here's Felder at the bucket. And Felder will be fouled, and it looks like the Parowan Rams are going to upset the Enterprise Wolves.
He was looking for the slam dunk. They turned and handed the ball back to Felder.
Yeah.
The defense made sure he didn't get the slam dunk.
They did. Holy cow, 44-40. And just those 50-50 balls you talked about, Coach, at the end of the game has been the difference. for the Parowan Rams. Shot is up and in for Felder.
You better put this one in the freezer, I believe.
Yep, I think it's closed. I think number 8 will knock off number 1, so the biggest upset possible is going to happen this afternoon at Salt Lake Community College. Shot is up and good for Felder as well. So Brock, 5 out of 6. There's a shot at the buzzer, and that'll do it as the Parowan Rams defeat the Enterprise Wolves 46-40 in, not necessarily a stunner, but it's a big upset.
Yeah, it really is. Like you said, Enterprise had all the mojo. They've been the state title, 3 years in a row, number 1 in the region. That's a tough loss for them. But Parowan, again, like the previous game, it may not have been pretty, but the team that won outplayed the other team. Well, and that's you say that all the time, but in this case, it was outplayed not just because they scored more points, but out-hustled, But
here's a stat that's really interesting, Coach, is on the free throw line, Parowan shot 20 free throws. Now, this game wouldn't have been close if they would have made half of them, but they only made 8 out of 20. So that's only 40% from the free throw line. On the flip side, Enterprise shot 2 free throws and were 0 for 2.
Yeah.
And so that tells you that, inside, there just wasn't enough action inside to create contact.
They didn't
and get to the free throw line.
They didn't challenge anybody,
Yeah, Felder and Millett set up.
And in spite of that, you think, okay, they were shooting a lot of outside. No, they weren't. They really were kind of never got into a flow for me.
Yeah.
On an offensive flow. So
it's going to be really interesting. Look at the stats of this one. We'll give you, let's see, 14, 17 points. So the starters score all the points for the Parowan Rams, including 17 for Felder, 15 for Mortensen, 14 for Millett, and 2 for Hall. On the Enterprise side, you've got 8 points for Brady Crouch. You have 10 points for Trey Whitman. I thought he played very well.
I did too. I was impressed by him.
4 points for Ty Staley, 5 points for Trey Randall, 5 points for Austin Thomas, and then, 8 points for Dax Hunt off the bench. So for the Wolves, 8 bench points. Oh, excuse me, that's the starting points. 5 points off the bench for Trey Randall. So
well, and you talked about the four double-digit averages.
Yeah,
none of them got the
didn't come into play on this one.
Yeah, nope.
And we'll see if we can get some final stats real quick here. But what an upset for the Parowan Rams as they, move closer as they move to the semifinals, take on the winner of South Sevier and American Heritage.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Chip Young against.
Won't it though?
Rock Felder.
Yeah,
but they both have to win games to get there. So
there's a lot more action coming up tonight on this. Look at the girls' bracket real quick before we sign off. And tonight for the girls' side of the bracket, it's going to be, first game will be Draper APA versus North Sevier. That will be followed. Nope, that's not actually the first game. The first game is going to be Kanab and Parowan, then South Sevier and North Summit, then Beaver and Duchesne, and followed by Draper APA and North Sevier.
So. Well, you've got something wrong there because you never read off Millard.
Millard instead of South Sevier.
Millard's playing there somewhere.
I've got an old bracket before I did this. So you've got, let me give you these again.
Your bias is showing
at
through
410,
on that one,
you have Kanab and Parowan. At 550, you have North Summit and Millard. Right?
I know everybody thought Millard should lose that one, but they didn't.
Beaver takes on Duchesne at 7:30 tonight. Then at 9:10, you've got Draper APA and North Sevier. Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah. Folks from Millard can live with that now.
Well, you can see it. I got the wrong bracket. I've got an old one. I was kind of making it up on the fly, and you caught me.
Well, that shows your bias.
No, there's no bias. I watched that game. That was impressive. We were watching it after the girls' game the other night. So, anyway, that'll do it for us for this game. Coming up next is the South Sevier Rams and the Patriots of American Heritage. Another good game coming up. So we've had 2 upsets already. The Millard Eagles going down in defeat, and now the Enterprise Wolves down in defeat to the Parowan Rams. So that'll do it for us. For Thompson Coles, those on the camera, and for Dennis Aldridge, I'm Scott Langford. We'll make way for Robert Lovell and Curtis Marsh for South Sevier American Heritage.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform.